Hi everyone, we're here at Mindvalley HQ and I'm here with the one and only Jim Kwik of Superbrain. Superbrain Quest has been one of the most amazing programs at Mindvalley. Last year in 2017, it was the program with the highest number of enrollments. When we first opened up this program, 3,000 people enrolled, went through our community, went through the 30-day quest and were supporting each other on this journey. And the purpose of this video is for those of you who are thinking about coming into Superbrain, because we have a whole string of popular questions here from the Mindvalley community, and we wanted to bring Jim on set to address and answer these questions so you have a full 360 view of Superbrain, what you're going to learn, how this program influences your life, and any other funny, strange, interesting questions that you guys put in. So first, Jim,
Yes.
Big thing about Superbrain is, why is this important to you? Why did you spend so much energy creating this program with Mindvalley?
Well, I could say, honestly, when we partnered together to be able to create this program, one of the joys of my life is literally when this program is going on, I get tagged 100 times a day, without exaggeration, with joy stories, with people using this for themselves, for their families, children, and they create videos. I mean, have you watched these videos of people?
Hilarious,
I watched
amazing.
one today where somebody was tutoring their child on this, and it blew my mind to see a child like memorize like their school information and have a new confidence. There was one video that was there where this woman for years has been trying to memorize this poetry word for word because it has some deep sentimental value to her, and she literally recorded herself and she was almost in tears. It was 2 minutes straight, word for word for this poetry.
And I put up a video of my 10-year-old son memorizing the periodic table of elements. They haven't even started teaching this in school. It's not part of the 10-year curriculum, but he was memorizing it because I got him watching the Jim Kwik videos on Superbrain.
And that's the thing I love. And so if you're asking me like why I'm so passionate about this, many people know I grew up with a broken brain, a head injury, I had learning challenges. So my mission in life is to help people not suffer the way I did, to be able to have better, brighter brains. And we want to leave no brain left behind. And when I think about the 3,000 people that went through the initial the journey with us, the initial quest with us, I mean, we're all about changing brains so you could change your life. You know, change your brain, we could change the world together. And we're creating this mind movement because I believe we are in the millennium of the mind, and you're not alone. If you're struggling with information overload, if you feel like senior moments are coming a little bit too early, if you just need some more confidence and a peace of mind, this is a great starting point. It's a great way to learn how to learn. And we talk about this all the time.
And so a big question for those of you who are unfamiliar with Mindvalley Quest is, what is the Quest methodology and how does it work? So Quest is a learning platform we designed here at Mindvalley, and it has been proven to boost completion rates on courses by up to 800%. And the idea is really simple. Rather than be expected to go through 8 hours of videos by Jim, which I'm sure are going to be ridiculously entertaining and amazing, you simply go through 10 to 15 minutes a day with Jim over 30 days. But here's the catch. You're not doing it alone. You're doing it with thousands of other members communicating in a community. Now, you don't have to be active in the community. You don't have to post every single day. But the fact that you're not going through this alone is so exciting, because one of the principles of effective learning is to learn in a group, because people start sharing ideas. And when you see other people teaching this to their kids, when you see the stories, you get inspired. So people start together, they go through it together, and they cross the finishing line.
I have to
together.
say this, what's unique about the program is, yes, I do a lot of the teaching, but I swear, that's only half the value. The other half is exactly that, is the tribe, it's the community.
Right.
Because they're in there developing these. Like I read somewhere before, like, Jim, do you realize I could use this technique to memorize my jokes? Like, have you ever heard a great joke and the next day, the next morning at the ice cooler or the coffee machine, you try to tell the joke and you just flop at it? But this person actually does sets. They're a comedian and they needed to remember all their jokes to be able, it's hard to go do stand-up, right? To go on stage and tell jokes like that. And he applied one of the techniques towards that. Another one is, like we're talking about the periodic table, I show people how to memorize the first 10 elements, but you have strings and strings of threads. Oh, here's how to do the next 10 and the next 10 and the next 10. So people are teaching each other, and that's the beauty of
And this
the
leads to one of the other questions, right? Can you teach these techniques and exercises to children? What is the earliest age you can start teaching them? And here's the crazy thing. One of the most remarkable things about this program is adults join the program and they are bringing in their kids. And there's no extra charge for bringing in your kid, because once you enroll in Superbrain Quest, you can download the Mindvalley TV app and you can play it on your television and watch it with your child. and people are bringing in their kids, and these kids are seeing massive, great improvements.
There's at least 10% of all the stories that I see that's going on in this private group with the community there have to do with children. And so, I mean, how old is Hayden now?
10.
10. I mean, it's incredible. Like, I've seen people coaching people at the age of 6, 7, 8 years old, and that's the most amazing thing. Because what an advantage to learn this at that age.
What's the youngest age we can introduce our children to Superbrain?
Well, the great things about this is some of the children actually exceed the adults with this, because it's engaging playfulness, it's engaging questions and creativity. And so I've seen them as young as 6 years old.
Fantastic. Now, the second thing is there a nutrition or diet plan that you follow to boost your abilities as you're going through this quest?
Okay, so I know people who are watching haven't yet entered the quest, but that's a big part of the quest, because part of it is your brain. You have to feed that machine, right? And because you are what you eat. And so yes, there are very specific foods that we teach in the quest to be able to add to your diet. And so certain things you add and some things you subtract, because sometimes in your life, subtraction I find is multiplication.
Right.
And what I mean by that is sometimes when you delete things in your life, whether they're people or plans or projects or anything, you actually magnify your life. And I know some people could really identify with that. Certainly that is with food. But when it comes to brain foods, we do a whole multiple days on the best brain diet. And also we teach people how to memorize those foods. So when you go to the grocery store, you don't need a list. You could actually remember it. So if somebody calls you up and you think of things, even when you're in the shower, you're driving, you could actually remember it. So if certain foods are things like avocados, things like blueberries, I call them brain berries. Broccoli is very good. Got coconut oil, very good. If your diet allows, eggs are good for your brains. Green leafy vegetables are good. If you eat it, salmon, wild-caught salmon or sardines, very neuroprotective in terms of DHAs. We always talk about that a lot. All the things that are good for your brain, turmeric, walnuts. It's kind of funny with walnuts because they kind of look like a brain also as well. And I'll give you an extra one, dark chocolate. Save the best for last.
Yes.
Dark chocolate. And you can also throw all those into a brain power smoothie. Don't throw the salmon in there, it's probably not gonna taste very good. But green leafy vegetables, some avocados, some dark chocolate, put in some water and some sweetener.
So basically you're gonna learn about nutrition for the brain, but you're gonna learn how to remember that list. So when you walk into a grocery store, you know exactly what you're getting. Now next, what about people who have experienced traumatic brain injury or who are impaired with disabilities that may be cognitive, developmental, mental, physical, or sensory? How does this quest help them?
Okay, so I'm not a medical doctor, nor am I a nutritionist. I'm not anything online that ends in an ist, but I can give you my experience from teaching this for a quarter of a century. You know, two and a half decades. And I can tell you, we have a lot of information on this. And so I've suffered from a number of TBIs, traumatic brain injuries, and it's challenging because one of the key tenets to activating your super brain, one of them is protect your brain. You know, wear a helmet. And I got to coach some of the actors in some various movies that have to do with concussions and studies like that with the NFL. And you need to protect your brain. And so there are absolutely things you can do to improve your brain power. And over the course of 30 days, there's not a magic pill, but there's a magic process, and it takes place over those 30 days. We've had so many people who have gone through Superbrain Quest that have suffered from concussions, traumatic brain injuries, that are coming out on the other side, and it's like, this is what I read recently. Jim, thank you so much. You gave me my brain back. And so we talk about the best foods. We talk about getting rid of negative thoughts. We talk about a positive peer group. We talk about how to set up your environment, specifically in the Superbrain Quest, on how to activate more of your potential. We talk about how to eliminate stress, which is a big challenge for traumatic brain injury. Here's what we know. About 1/3 of your potential is predetermined by genetics and biology. 2/3 is completely in your control, and we cover those 2/3 in the Superbrain Quest.
Now that leads to the next question. Do genetics play a role in your ability to learn and retain information? I think you just answered.
It does. I've done programs in the United States at the foremost institute for research in Alzheimer's and dementia. It's at the Cleveland Clinic for Brain Health. And I've gone there and trained their caregivers, trained their nurses, trained their doctors, and it's all around what role genetics plays and how to optimize your genetics so it expresses it as best.
So the answer is genetics does play a role, but it's about 1/3. 2/3 is learning how to learn.
Yeah, and in your lifestyle, your sleep, your stress management, the foods you eat, nutritional supplementation, which we talk about in this quest.
how much time does it take on a day-to-day basis? This is a common question.
Yeah, this is the best part about this, because this doesn't take extra time, is because you're going out there doing these things ready. When we talk about speed reading in that module, you're already going reading anyway. When we're talking about remembering names, you're already meeting people anyway, trying to remember their names. But the quest itself is about going through it, it's about 10 minutes a day.
And here's the best part, 10 minutes a day times 30 days, so you can do the math. It's incredible value, but here's the crazy part. After you complete this test, your reading speed, your retention goes up. Now, Jim, you did the math on this. I mean, if we are able to double our reading speed.
Yeah, even when we talk about the module on reading and such, the average person has to read they tell us about 4 hours a day processing information. Think about all the blogs, think about all the newspapers,
Emails,
magazines,
corporate reports,
books, all the books that are sitting on your shelf. They become shelf help, not self-help, right? The challenge is 4 hours a day. If you could just double your reading speed, you save 2 hours a day. And this is real for everyone who's watching this. Whether you're a parent or a student, a senior, wherever you are in your life, you want that time. Your most valuable asset is your attention and your time, because it's the one thing you can't get back, right? That's the one thing you can't replace.
2 hours a day is 14 hours a week.
Right.
It's roughly...
it's roughly
56 hours a month.
Right, I mean, we're talking
That's
about
2 extra days a month.
We're talking about even an hour a day is 365 hours a year. That is, if you divide it by 40, 4-hour work week, 9 40-hour work weeks, 2 months of productivity you get back. I mean, people are fighting
for that back in your family, in your holiday time, in your work. You know, this quest gives you back time.
Right, so it doesn't take time as much as it does, it makes time.
Okay, big question over here. Is there a rule in society that your cognitive power or your ability to learn and retain information deteriorates over time? And a related question, if you could change one thing about the modern schooling system, what would it be? Okay,
so is there a myth that's out there, or something like a false belief maybe, that it deteriorates over time? So the truth is, we've found out more about the human brain in more than the past 10 years than the previous 1,000 years combined. And what we found is we're grossly underestimating our capabilities, because we were never taught how to optimize our brain like Superbrain does. And so neurogenesis, neuroplasticity, science is saying that you could grow older, but you could grow better. You could grow new brain cells to the day you die. Neuroplasticity is saying you could create new connections till you die, which is amazing. And how do you connect new things? Is by new learnings. It's 2 keys, novelty and nutrition. Novelty, nutrition. It is true that we slow down a little bit as we grow older, but the key is, though, we get wiser. And here's the thing you want to do is, you have this experience base, so you make better decisions. Maybe you slow down a little bit, just like we slow down in our bodies. It's gonna happen, so that's a truth. And though, we could grow better because we could expand our knowledge base, we could expand our wisdom base, we could expand our experience base, so we could make better decisions, we could have more fulfillment. So we could grow older, but we could grow better. We could add years to our life, even when we're talking about, A-Fest and longevity, we could add years to our life, but Superbrain will add life to your years.
Amazing. Okay, so the last question, if you could change one thing about the modern schooling system, what would it be?
Okay, that's easy, Vishen. Here's the challenge. I grew up with learning disabilities, and I wanted to work hard, and I still worked hard, but I couldn't fix that. And I feel like the modern day world is not really matched up with the education that prepared us for it. Because here's the thing I would change. School teaches you what to learn. Subjects, important subjects, math, history, science, Spanish, important subjects on what to learn. But there are 0 classes on how to learn, how to be creative, how to think for yourself, how to focus, how to concentrate, how to be able to remember things, how to read faster, all the things we cover in Superbrain. So if I was to change one thing in our education system, it would be to focus on meta-learning. Learning how to learn. It is the most important skill to learn in the 21st century, is your ability to learn faster. Because the amount of information that's coming at you, if you don't get this skill, it's not even a nice to have, it's a must-have skill if you want to be able to catch up, keep up, and get ahead.
And with Superbrain, our goal is to create the #1 program on planet Earth teaching you how to learn. And we so believe in this that you can enroll in Superbrain and you can take the entire program over 30 days. And in that 30 days, if you don't like it, you can get a full refund. We are that committed to creating the best programs on planet Earth. And with Superbrain, what we wanted to create is the world's greatest program on accelerated learning, right? Because the world needs this, and it's going to change your life, it's going to change the life of your kids, and it's so much fun. So thank you, Jim, for joining us. I can't wait to see you in Superbrain.